Shohei Ohtani absolutely shattered the North American sports record for a single player contract. $700 million to sign with the Los Angeles Dodgers over 10 years. Let's talk about it. So I was in LA over the weekend, believe it or not. I was in Disneyland. My wife and I, we have annual passes, magic key passes, as they call them nowadays for marketing purposes. And we were in line at the Haunted Mansion, which can get quite long during the holiday season. And I saw the notification. I heard multiple people talking about it, and Shohei Ohtani moving from being with the Angels for 6 years, where he never made the playoffs with another one of the best players in baseball, Mike Trout, moving to the other team in town, the Dodgers. It's big news, and it's of course big news in LA. I heard multiple people talking about his contract, but what was bigger news was his contract. There was a lot of thought during the season before he ended up tearing his UCL that Ohtani's contract would start with a 5 and could end up starting with the 6. Right, 500 million. It could end up being 600 million plus. Then he tore his UCL, and while that does limit him from pitching in year one, I thought his contract was still going to be 500 million, could be 6. A lot of the rhetoric around mainstream media was that, well, that's 400 million. That's going to be a starting point. Maybe he'll reach 5, but I doubt it. And I did put out a video, I think, when that happened, that Shohei Ohtani could have cost himself $100 million. But my feeling all the way through was that I would be surprised if it started with a 4. And I thought there was a chance that it could start with a 6. Never in my wildest dreams, never in my wildest thoughts did I think that Shohei Ohtani's contract could start with a 7. $700 million. That's a $70 million per year average annual value. For reference, the highest in baseball currently is Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander, both being paid $43.3 million contracts they signed with the Mets. 700 million shatters the North American sports record, as I mentioned at the top of the show. And that was set by Lionel Messi with Inter Miami at $550 million. That's $150 million more. The Big Four sports record was Patrick Mahomes at $500 million. $200 million less than Shohei Ohtani. The biggest free agent baseball contract was Aaron Judge last year at $360 million. Shohei Ohtani nearly doubled that. Now, there are some extensions that are worth more than that. Mike Trout and Mookie Betts both above that $360 million mark. But nonetheless, $700 million absolutely shatters any sports contract in North America. It's more than Michael Jordan and LeBron James made in their career combined. The two greatest basketball players to ever hit the floor, more than their career total earnings combined. It's insane. And that's not to say that this is an overpay by the Dodgers. It might be. Who knows, right? We might get in 5 years and Shohei Ohtani hasn't pitched and he's barely hit, and this contract was horrible when he's 36. Who knows, right? I hope that doesn't happen as a guy who's a fan of him as a baseball player and hopes to see him dominate the league for years to come. But the Yankees to, of course, win World Series and the Dodgers not. I don't want that to happen. But the reality of the situation is he's had 2 Tommy Johns. He's had several other injuries. You got to hope he stays healthy for the Dodgers, because $700 million guaranteed is a lot. Even if there's a lot of deferred money and you're still allowed to compete, that's a lot of money. Where does that leave the Dodgers? The Dodgers were in great financial flexibility for this reason. They wanted to be ready to sign Ohtani when it came down to it. And if they didn't sign Ohtani, they were going to pivot somewhere else, whether that was Yoshinobu Yamamoto, whether that was whoever else was on the market. Cody Bellinger, I guess, is the biggest hitter still on the market, considering Juan Soto would have never been traded to the Dodgers, being that he's on a division rival in the Padres. They were going to pivot big time. But they land their guy, they land Ohtani. They're probably going to add a few other pieces. They still need pitchers, and Ohtani's not going to pitch this year. Kershaw, who knows if he'll be back in Dodger blue. Their rotation is suspect at best. Of course, Walker Buehler got hurt last year. A few other guys. I'm going to pull up their current depth chart as they sit with their current contracts. But they need a few more pieces, and I'm sure they'll sign them. I'm sure they'll make moves. I think, and there's reports out that they're still interested in Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I think they're out on him, in my opinion. I think it's really down to the Giants, the Yankees, or the Mets, in my opinion, for Yamamoto. But as the Dodgers currently sit, first of all, they need 2 roster spaces to sign Joe Kelly and Ohtani, so they're supposedly making a trade soon. But their current starting rotation would be Bobby Miller, Ryan Yarbrough, Walker Buehler, Emmett Sheehan, and Ryan Pepiot. If I said that right, I apologize if I didn't. Not a huge depth there. Their bullpen: Evan Phillips, Brusdar Graterol, Caleb Ferguson, Alex Vesia, Gus Varland. Starts dipping off. Blake Trinan's in there. JP Fireisen's in there. But the position player group's pretty set unless they're trading a guy like James Outman, I could see, I guess. But I think it's pretty set. Will Smith and Austin Barnes at catcher. Obviously, Freeman's playing first. Mookie Betts will play a lot of second. Max Muncy will play a lot of third. At short, you'll probably get Gavin Lux coming back. And then you got Chris Taylor, Miguel Rojas. And in the outfield, James Outman, Jason Hayward, Mookie. Well, of course, Mookie's there. Chris Taylor could play some outfield as well. Mookie's going to play a lot of time at second base, so I doubt he gets a lot of outfield minutes. But nonetheless, you're still maybe looking for 1 or 2 more position players. Because if you're looking at a lineup, you think the top of the lineup is going to still feature Mookie at 1, Freeman at 2, Ohtani at 3, Will Smith at 4, Max Muncy at 5, and then you start dropping off to Outman, Hayward, Rojas, Lux. I don't know who you're putting in there. Nonetheless, the top of that lineup is terrifying. And if they make additions, they're going to be right there. If they could keep those 3 guys healthy, really, there's 4 guys, I guess, if you want to include Will Smith. If they can keep those 3 guys healthy, that's a terrifying top 3. And I'm not sure any lineup has that kind of top 3 in baseball. 3 bona fide top 10 hitters. I feel comfortable saying that. I'd probably put Freeman. I mean, I'm just spitballing here. I'd probably put Freeman about 7th and Mookie Betts about 10th right now, if I had to guess. So it's 3 top 10 hitters. Right, you have other dynamic duos, right? Acuna and Olsen are very good. Olsen's not a top 10 hitter, and whoever you put third, Austin Riley, I don't think is a top 10 hitter. Obviously Soto and Judge, my New York Yankees. Who's the third in there? Stanton had a down year. Gleyber Torres, I guess, is the third there. Not anywhere close. Who else? Seager and Simeon. I don't know who else you're throwing in there, and they're not keeping up with those 3. I don't even know if Seager and Simeon are keeping up with those 3. I'd have to think about it. Anybody in Toronto? No. It's really tough to find a lineup that has 2 top 10 hitters, nevertheless 3 top 10 hitters in baseball. It's just incredible. I think as we sit right now, the Yankees had the best dynamic duo. The Dodgers clearly have the best trio, and it's not anywhere close. Where does that leave the rest of the baseball landscape? I think is more of the conversation. I mean, Ohtani's obviously going to be a big player for the Giants, for the Dodgers. Slipped up there. Wanted him to go to the Giants selfishly, so I could see him at the Giants games. He would have been a legend there. But the Giants were not getting $700 million together. I doubt they were getting more than 4 or 5. I think a lot of teams were kind of out. I think Toronto may have been the only one that was anywhere close to offering $700 million, but the Dodgers get their guy. Good on them. Good on teams for spending big on players. That raises the overall floor, which I appreciate. It's kind of crazy that Shohei Ohtani is going to be paid somewhere around double some teams' payroll. That's kind of insane. Anyway, where does that leave the rest of the baseball landscape? The Dodgers are obviously going to be in play for a starter. I don't know who that is. I'd have to think about it more. I don't see a guy like Blake Snell or Jordan Montgomery signing with them. It's tough. I'm gonna look up list of free agent pitchers. I can't really remember a whole lot off the top of my head. That's gonna be the next big addition for them. 2024 free agent pitchers ranked. The first ones that come up are like Lance Lynn, Sonny Gray, a lot of guys that have already signed. So obviously Yamamoto's out there, Nola signed, Snell's out there, Montgomery's out there. I don't see that as a fit. Sonny Gray's signed. Josh Hader's out there, but I'm talking about starters. Clayton Kershaw, okay. Eduardo Rodriguez, Simon Diamondbacks, Lucas Giolito, Marcus Stroman, I kind of could see as a Dodger. I wonder if they'd bring back Trevor Bauer. Seth Lugo, I could see as a Dodger. Imanaga, I could see as a Dodger coming over from Japan. Kenta Maeda signed. Michael Wacha, I can't remember if he's signed or not. Jordan Hicks, Yariel Rodriguez, Nick Martinez, Sean Manaea. I mean, there's not a lot of great options out there. I thought Luis Severino was so a Dodger, and he ended up being a Met, which is still weird. I could see them taking a risk on a guy like Frankie Montas, James Paxton, some of these guys that maybe have a little bit of wear and tear on their arms, and just hope they stay injury free. A reunion with Hyunjin Ryu could be possible. I don't know, man. I don't love this. I mean, I know they've got some good pitchers on their roster already, right? But I don't know. I don't feel so confident. We'll see how that goes. I mean, at the end of the day, Ryan Yarbrough's a good pitcher. Walker Buehler's a good pitcher. They've got some good pitchers there. Building the rotation is going to be a little bit tough this year, but for years to come, those three in the lineup are going to be terrifying. I'm looking at their 40-man roster right now to see if anybody's left off, or maybe is their active roster, non-roster players. Oh, yeah, it's not showing me. Nonetheless, great move by the Dodgers. Yamamoto becomes the hot topic. Will he get $300 million? I think so. Who is that from? It remains to be seen. I think the Mets are going to put the biggest offer out there. I think the Giants are going to be involved. The Yankees, I think, have the most prestige of the teams available, and Yamamoto seems to want that. He's 25 years old, man. He's 25 years old with movement on pitches coming over from Japan that we haven't seen. Movement better than Tanaka, better than Ohtani, better than whoever else you want to throw out there. So I'd like to see a team offer him a big deal, and I hope that's the Yankees. I hope the Yankees put him at the top of the rotation with Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon. I think that'd be a fun World Series matchup. Can you imagine that, right? Picture it now. World Series 2024. Cole, Yamamoto, Rodon, Soto, Judge, Yankees versus Betts, Ohtani, Freeman, Buehler, whoever else, Dodgers. That's a fun matchup. Yankees versus Dodgers will already do numbers because New York, LA, two biggest franchises probably in the sport. Maybe you throw the Cubs or the Red Sox in there, but two of the most historic franchises in the sport. The two biggest cities in the country. The stars galore. And it's a matchup of what should have happened in 2017 if the Astros never cheated. I want to see it. Let me know what you think of Ohtani signing. Where do you think Yamamoto goes? Does he end up with the Dodgers or a different team? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching this Quick Thoughts episode. I hope you enjoyed. Peace out.